What's up, guys? So, this woman I was speaking to was telling me about this author, Peggy something. I'll put the author's name below. But I started checking out some of her interviews, and she was actually on the news. They were asking her, what are your thoughts on this gender neutral toys for kids, and this push for being gender neutral. And what she was saying was, well, no matter what, kids are always going to gravitate towards whatever gender they identify with. So girls want to understand what it's like to be girls, guys want to understand what it's like to be guys, or whatever they identify with. So maybe, a girl, she didn't say this, but I'm adding this. Like, so if a girl identifies with being a guy, even though she's a girl, like, she's still going to maybe gravitate towards that. Whereas, then there are women who, still identify as women, and they want to play with superhero toys, and there's nothing inherently not feminine about that. It's just that it's just a different preference. And going into this further, she was saying that in the past, for example, like books on cooking, it would show a boy and a girl on the cover, and now it's almost all females. It's almost all girls on the covers of these easy bake ovens. And there was in her interview, the newscaster, she showed a video of a 8th grader videotaping her little brother, asking him what he wanted for Christmas, and he said, "I want a dinosaur and an easy bake oven." And he said, "Well, she asked him, what do you see when you watch the easy bake oven commercials?" And he said, "I only see girls. There's no boys, because boys aren't supposed to have easy bake ovens, or they're supposed to be just for girls." And then the 8th grader showed herself talking, and she was saying, with this kind of mindset, we're discouraging males from, picking up cooking. And she's like, what kind of future do you want to have if, we're encouraging one gender one thing, and, telling the other gender that they can't, explore this. So, and it's cooking, you know what I mean? So anyone can cook. And this was really interesting. I didn't realize that easy bake oven was, well, as a kid they had easy bake ovens that were kind of oriented towards guys, like creepy crawlers or stuff like that, that is kind of like, oh, we're gonna make slime or something like that. So when I was younger, I guess there was some distinction, but the key here in all of this is this author, this woman who has written all these books on this topic. She was saying that in the 80s they actually marketers found that if they make a large distinction between boys and girls, if they make more subdivisions, if they subdivide the toys like into different categories like that, they could sell more. So they started really making these the toys very specific. Like, this is what boys have, this is what girls have, and they even created differences that didn't exist. And what those are, I'm not 100% sure, but I think if we think about it, like, we can kind of get the gist. Like, everything. So there's another example of a little girl that I saw in Target, and this was probably like 2011 or 2012, and she was complaining about the girls section. She's like, everything is pink, and it's hysterical. I'll put this down below. I'll put the interview of this woman I was talking about down below too. But this little girl is like, I want more color. Like, you go to the boys section, it's got all the colors. Over here, it's just pink, and she's right. It's literally the section she's complaining about is all pink. It's hysterical. And yeah, and then she's saying, like, some girls want to play with dolls and princesses, some girls want to play with superheroes. And to go into this further, back to the author, she was saying that back in the day, Legos were oriented towards both genders. It was just express your creativity. Back in 2012, they had a toy, like a branch of Legos that was marketed towards girls, and it was so overly girly to the point where they were saying in this newscast, the newscaster was saying this commercial is causing tons of outrage, and this toy is just kind of being completely rejected because everyone is this is so sexist. This, I forget, it's all the girls go to get their hair done and then they go to the cafe and drink their lattes or something like that. I don't know. It was it was super over the top, what I'm talking about, super genderized to the point where it's girls were getting offended. Just with the pens, it was Bic for her, and it's these pink pens with easier grip for her fingers or something like that. I don't know, that got a lot of backlash too, because it's a pen. You know what I mean? It's just kind of it's really silly. But that being said, I mean, this is a serious topic, because this is what you're giving your kid. The human brain is what she was explaining, is very flexible and open, most open during those early years of life. So, as opposed to young female girls, getting kind of a better, healthy understanding of gender, they're getting these things thrown at them that are not only unhealthy, but doesn't have their best intentions in mind. It's the marketers wanting to break up the market in a way that they can sell more. That's the agenda behind it, and that's unfortunate. So it's nice to know that there is a turnaround right now, and people are really coming down on this, where the point of this is to there's a greater movement towards how can we give children a better self-image through the toys and the things that we're teaching them, and basically just our culture is shifting in a way that we're recognizing all the toxic things that have been happening towards them over these years. And there was basically one more thing that she said that really stuck out in these female toys, these girly girl Lego things. There wasn't really even that much Lego pieces to begin with. These toys weren't even encouraging building. It was mostly just a few parts you slab together to make this cafe, or to make this hair salon. So again, the point wasn't, Legos is supposed to encourage creativity, and you're supposed to use your mind to put these things together. And again, it was just lazy. It was lazy craftsmanship, for the sake of really honing in on this, separating the genders in order to market this product. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Cool beans. Peace. Have a good one.